Hello good people of the internet, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who haven't been here before, hi, my name is Anna and I hope that you stick around. So I might say that you're living under a rock if you don't know what TikTok is. Personally, I didn't get on TikTok until like right before the pandemic, like February before. But I also felt like TikTok was the place to hang out during the pandemic. You know, we had nothing better to do during lockdown. And as the algorithm did its thing, it steered me into Perfumetok. So Perfumetok is partially the reason why I started to do these perfume videos, because I saw that there was an audience that might actually want to listen to someone rant on and on about perfume. And the reason why I started to do these on YouTube is because personally I like this format a bit better. I also like to edit my videos on a computer. Yeah, I'm a little old school like that. So that is why I started to do these videos. I'm extremely curious. I don't want to say I'm impressionable. My curiosity, it can be a little exhausting to myself even sometimes. So obviously when I see a video about a perfume that has a great description to it, of course I have to smell it. Not necessarily own it, but I have to smell it. Being a bit impulsive, that sometimes leads to some blind buys. So if your curiosity is as extreme as mine, and you are curious to what kind of blind buys that TikTok made me get, please keep on watching. I had such high hopes for this. I was looking for a Your Skin But Better scent, and this was all over TikTok. I did my due diligence and researched it. So when the company that I worked for started to carry Juliette Has a Gun, of course I had to buy it. I am happy, however, I did not spring for the full-size bottle. It turns out I have a very sensitive nose to Cetalox and Broxin and those animalic notes. I haven't tried to macerate it, but I don't know if that will help, considering Cetalox is the only ingredient in this one. But as for now, it is too much for me. So you can imagine what Superdose smells on me. It becomes more of an overdose. Now don't get me wrong, I do tend to recognize Ambroxan, Cetalox, and ambergris in fragrances for men. And I also have men in my life that wear those type of perfumes, but on them it smells good, so it's not that. But on me it turns very synthetic and is just too much. Now I wish that I liked it. I wish that I liked it. So I do sort of regret buying this one, and that's also when I learned that what a scent smells is very much up for interpretation. I know there are people that don't smell not a perfume on their skin that well, so for them maybe it smells what I wish that it would smell, but to be honest, I kind of expected not a perfume to be more like Skin by Clean Reserve. Has this stopped me from getting more travel size bottles from Juliette Has a Gun in the other sense? No. Now you can tell that they all have the same Juliette Has a Gun DNA, but they are a bit different. Musk Invisible, for example, is more what I imagine not a perfume to be. It is a bit softer, not as pungent, and it does not project as hard as not a perfume does on me. Now I talked about this in the dupes video that I did. On TikTok, people called it sweet, fruity, juicy, and fresh. So of course that sold me. Besides, the bottle is so beautiful, and as a collector you just need this in your collection, right? With that description from TikTok, it is understandably that I got a little disappointed when I smelled it, because I felt that it was no way near what they described it as. But the first thing that I did do is pick up on the Givenchy L'Interdit Rouge in this. So to me, in my nose, this is more of a woody, spicy, warm scent than it is fruity and fresh. Apart from not being what I expected it to be, it is a beautiful fragrance. It is a perfect dupe for Givenchy L'Interdit Rouge. So do I regret buying it? Actually, no. So if you're like me and have been on Perfumetok for a little while, you might have seen this. This is Lattafa Yara, and it is described on TikTok as a creamy, fresh, fruity vanilla scent. But to me, when I first got it, it smelled very synthetic, and I could not for the life of me understand how people could call this creamy and fresh and juicy. But I did put it in perfume prison for a little while, so it macerated, and now it is more creamy and fruity, but also very powdery in my nose. To me, in my nose, this is a little more mature, so if you like Chanel and the Chance line, you're gonna like this too. Do I regret buying this one? A little bit, but the bottle is too beautiful not to have in my collection. Did I mention that I was very curious? When I saw that Yara had a sister, well actually she has several, but this is the one that I got a hold of, I knew I had to have it. Now yet again, people call this fresh, fruity, and tropical, and with a creamy dry down, and all over a sweet and fruity floral scent. It's absolutely 100% tropical, but it's not fresh. The opening actually hits me like a ton of bricks, and just to be honest, I feel like I'm gasping for air when I spray it. It does remind me of Marc Jacobs and the XOXO Fresh line. To me, it has a very strong sillage in the dry down and just continues to be loud. So this is not a perfume that you douse yourself in. One spray is more than enough. But I do think that if you like Marc Jacobs and the XOXO Fresh line, you're going to like this too. It's funny though, because on initial sniff, this reminded me of another fragrance, but I can't really put my finger on which. I have a suspicion, and if I figure it out, maybe I'll do a video on it. I regret buying this one. A little bit with this one too, because it was so different from what I expected it to be. But I mean, look at the bottle. It is beautiful, so it cannot not be in my collection. Now there is this one TikToker named Ari who has this series where she gives recommendation on how to smell edible, how to be folded like a lawn chair, and in this case, which was the fall edition, to be slurped like a pumpkin latte, and those type of things. And since I already had the other one that she presented with this, of course I had to get a Rehab Choco Musk as well, a bit compulsively. Now this one really smells edible. It is described as a sugary sweet vanilla scent, and it absolutely is a vanilla scent, but it's not too much. There might not be enough vanilla in this. To me, this smells like those vanilla wafers with a chocolate filling. And I do feel, unfortunately, that the longevity isn't that good, but I have seen people recommend to get the perfume oil as well and layer it with that one. And for some reason, if I go a little hard on the spray, I sneeze. But that's like the only reaction that I have to it. Apart from the sneezing, I do not regret buying this one. I've also experimented with some layering with this one, and I find that if you use this as a first layer and spray Ariana Grande Cloud on top of it, it becomes an even more gourmand scent. And with that segue, it brings me to Cloud by Ariana Grande. Now I do have a little confession to make, and that is I used to be a bit of a snob when it came to these fragrances. I mean, they were available in H&M, so in my head they weren't as special. So I'm kind of glad that they get a little more recognition now, and since it also has gone viral, I thought there has to be something to it. And to be honest, one of my favorite perfumes of all time is actually a celebrity fragrance. So I thought I had to give it a go. It is described to be sweet, fruity, and floral, and it is exactly that. Now this is actually one of the fragrances that I smelled before I bought it, but Perfumetok did make me smell it. Now obviously not a purchase that I regret making. I smelled it before I got it. Now, is it very special? No, but it's cute, so I figured I have to have it in my collection. Again, a fragrance that I talked about in the video that I did on dupes. It is described to be fruity, soft on the nose, and a little ethereal. And to me, it also is exactly that. It is fresh, it's fruity, it's clean, and ethereal is pretty right on the money. And like mentioned in that dupes video, it is a perfect dupe for Radiant Nectar by Clean Reserve. This does have a vanilla note in it though, that makes it a little more sweet, but still, they're pretty similar. The sillage isn't too overpowering and the vanilla doesn't make it too sweet, so it is a perfect combination of sweet and fresh, and of course I do not regret buying this one. Now this is another one that I did smell before I bought it, but Perfumetok did make me smell it. I actually did buy it because it smelled like Radiant Nectar. So that was it for some of the fragrances that TikTok made me buy. And if you got this far, then thank you for watching. And if you did like it, then please give it a thumbs up. If you like me, then please subscribe. And until next time, bye.